What is going on, people? Welcome back to McLaren Fan TV. It's Tuesday. It's 7 p.m. in the UK, and I tell you what, yeah, fans like no other. Hashtag Instella We Trust. Because I tell you what, this season, guys, hopefully we've seen the last of whatever car that was that we've been having from the start of the season up until now. Hopefully, it's the end because it needs to end. I'm joined by my co-host, of course, Mahad from the Pit Stop Fracas. Mahad, what is happening?
I don't like Canada. Sorry if you're watching this and you're Canadian. Yeah, but it's nearly a decade now. Is it more than a decade? Nearly a decade. That
What, like
we do not
2014?
2014? Yeah.
Yeah.
When we had
First
Button
got
and
points.
Magnussen. That's the last time we succeeded in Canada. Once again, we could have scored a point or a couple of points, but there was a stupid penalty. Quali was good. Race was bad. Bring on the upgrades.
Bring on those upgrades, guys. I think it's time. We've suffered enough. We've endured enough, okay, of whatever this car was this season. Even McLaren themselves don't even stand by this car, right? They've gone and decided to start it all over again. And I know your preference wasn't necessarily Austria to actually have the upgrades brought in, but I think it's going to be a bit part and parcel, isn't it? It's going to be some in Austria and then some again at Silverstone. So we'll see. We might get the full package of it in Silverstone and further on. But man, we have done good, guys. to get this far, I want to applaud everybody for making it to the podcast, for making it to the season this far. Because I tell you what, all we've needed is each other in this season. No
We
doubt
have
about it.
survived.
We've survived.
We're at the end of the tunnel now, people.
We are.
We're at the end
We
of
are.
the tunnel.
Oh,
I cut out.
you cut out, but I can hear you. I can hear you. The screen's frozen, but we can hear you.
That's
You,
my
you,
fault, people.
you seem like you was making a great point
Lord
as well.
have mercy.
I think you're there. I think you're there now.
Do you know what happened? I dropped the Ethernet cable.
No way.
So I had to just connect to
No
Wi-Fi.
way.
So sorry, people. What I was saying is, it kind of gives me a little bit of hope because the upgrade package is so big that they have to spread it over 3 races. They can't just introduce it in one race.
That
So that tells you something.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does. Mahad, what you might need to do is drop out and drop back in because I think you're still on delay. Like we're hearing you, but your delay, your video's coming after. Do you know the way there? So you pop back out, pop back in. But yes, let me get into these comments. You get me because an upgrade that's going to be worth over 3 weekends or 3 race weekends, guys. It tells you exactly what we're after. But I want to celebrate the people that have been with us, okay, that have been on this grind since the start of the season, and we've had to look forward and finally get something new in the races coming up. A shout out to Canadian Gringo, who says it was going so well, we finally overtook Albon. I mean, that sentence there, okay, that sentence there. I'm watching a Williams, bro. Attack me, yeah, a Williams, nah, I can't. And McLaren sort of not concerned, but they're keeping an eye on Williams' pace. I don't know if you kind of got that from what was coming out of the comms from McLaren, and I was a bit like, okay, why are we concerned about this? I mean, who else was behind the Williams? I think it was Alpine, where it was like, what's Alpine doing behind Williams?
I think it was Albon in front, and then Ocon, then Lando. Am I still delayed?
No, you're sweet. You're good. You're good. Yeah, it's just like, what's going on here? And it says, and right at the end, we got past Bottas. Then the last corner of the last lap, we lost everything. And that was just due to that time penalty, wasn't it? From what happened with Lando.
What was the point? I think because of the cooler temperatures, the car was performing better. There was some race pace there, but I feel like I don't want to blame strategy, but I feel like we should have maybe split it so one car stayed out after the safety car. Because we did a double stack anyway. I feel like maybe just tell Norris or Oscar stay out.
Yeah,
the tires would have lasted, but just split the strategy and see where we fall, because you can see what happened with Leclerc and Sainz when they stood out. Look at the jump they made.
True.
Them, Carlos
Which,
and
by the way,
Carlos
though,
and Leclerc behind both the McLarens.
but the thing is, at the time, though, even you were thinking, hang on, the Ferraris are not pitting under the safety car, and they're on medium tires. Like, even you had to admit, because I thought Ferrari
Oh yeah, I thought it was shaky. I thought it
I
was
thought
shaky.
Ferrari were ballsing it up yet again, and I was ready to cook, but it paid off in the end for them. And I think, yeah, you know, it's harsh to blame strategy, but at the same time, you just sort of think, yeah, you know what, maybe let Norris go through. What's it called? Let Piastri go through and let him attack, because especially like even after the fact that he's got the penalty, again, it seemed like we were fighting with Norris, whereas we could have really fought with Piastri and getting them points. You know, a little something like whether it's consolation, I don't know. But I felt like the battle
I
wasn't
feel
with
like
Norris
Norris had
anymore.
the pace and Piastri just didn't in that race.
Norris did have the
At
pace.
the
Yeah.
beginning, Piastri, the first stint he had it, which
Yeah.
makes me think, why did we pit? But just how it is. I feel like we should have just won a little bit longer. I know it saves the car, and you like, oh, I could do a really short pit stop here, but at least split the strategy out to see where the coins land. You know what I mean? And
Bro,
but to be fair, I still think the penalty is just completely just a joke.
I mean, the penalty
Why
was fast.
they set them? There's no precedence for it. We are the presidents.
And it's what, unsportsmanlike behavior?
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, come on. Come on. I'm
For
sure
slowing
I've
down
seen
under
this.
the VAC so you could double stack. Like I've been seeing that for years.
I'm sure. I must admit it was incredibly slow. When I was watching them go around, was it turn 1, turn 2 when the virtual come out?
No,
And
I think it was the last corner, the last hairpin,
was it the
and
last
then
corner?
obviously you enter the pits after that.
Yeah, the last one. I
straight.
remember seeing it was like, oh, this is ridiculously slow. I've never seen the virtual safety car be that effective. So in my head, I was like, right, this is what 40% looks like. Then obviously, I'm noticing, okay, Lando's hold them up so that he can bring Oscar into play. I did think throughout the whole weekend, and just thinking, even in the race, especially with the fact that we could overtake in the race, I just thought to myself, my God, give these boys a car. Just give these guys a car, because we can handle. They can
If they
swing.
had clean air, if Norris had clean air and he got a past Albon, he would have made the 5 seconds. The penalty wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, in the end, it would have really bothered, wasn't it? Yeah, it's true.
Because Albon was lapping a second slower than everybody that was behind him. But he was just doing some crazy defending. Ocon with his twerking wing couldn't get past him. Just started the train.
How was that legal? Has no one had anything to say about that?
Norris said that he was ducking because he thought he was going to take his head off.
Exactly. You saw when it was when they had the camera on board on the rear of Ocon's car, shaking. I'm thinking, yo, Norris, you better just duck, bro. You need to get out of his slipstream and just crack on. Let's get through these comments anyway. Big up to Canadian Gringo. Shout out to Acumen, Liverpool FC. Every part of the car the air touches will be redesigned. The update seems to be much bigger than I had thought, and I had thought big anyways. James Key is a menace.
Do you know how when Stella said that every part of the car that touches the air is getting replaced? Do you know how insane that is? that means he didn't fuck with James Key car whatsoever.
It's not what bit he wants.
He said not even one aspect. He said, nah, I don't like the wing. I don't like the floor. I don't like the rear wing. I don't like the side pods. He said he don't like anything. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how crazy that is? That's like James Allison.
Funny.
Obviously, James Allison now has overtaken who's there? Mike Elliott. So Mike Elliott made the car, right? The Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then James Allison's stepped in now to take over. That's like James Allison saying, I'm replacing every part of Mike Elliott's car.
Can you imagine?
That's a crazy thing to say.
But you know what? I'm very happy though. I'm delighted with that. Now let's be clear. This could be an absolute howler at the end, right? We might have a car worse than what we've had this year, right? It can happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blindly gonna just be like, hey, it's definitely gonna be better. But I tell you what, man, I'll take. Listen, man said everything that touches the air will be changed. You better believe I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat, guys. Get ready to eat with this brand new car. Let me tell you. Get ready to eat, man.
Because that means whatever car we're seeing right now, the car that was at launch, whatever this car is right now, will not be the car by the end of these upgrades. So we're talking about the 3 upgrades that's happening now, the big large package, basically the B-spec car, that's happening over the next 3 races, and then the big upgrade that's after the summer break. So what they're basically saying is by that point it will be a new car, and that will be a good foundation for next year's car. But what I wanted to ask you was, before we start going into the Canadian Grand Prix weekend,
Sure.
is, and I want to ask people in the crowd as well, is after let's say Silverstone going into I think it's Hungary. When we're going into Hungary, where do you expect the McLaren to be? Do you expect it to be faster than Alpine? Do you think it should be in the group with Ferrari, Mercedes, and Aston Martin? Where do you think these upgrades will take the team? Because I don't like this P13 to P18 life. Get me out of it.
Freaking hate it, man. I absolutely hate that P13 to P18, like, for sure. What I find so strange about Alpine is this, yeah, they've got a car that's actually kind of quick, but they're just not putting that. They can't put 2 races together, and they can't put 2 drivers together, right? And so the pieces are there to be picked up. Even with this McLaren, you can still actually pick this Alpine if you're serious, anyway. And yeah, as in, I don't really blame anyone too tough. There is a lot of unluck that we're having this season, but I want us to be dunking on Alpine come the end of these upgrades. Like, would I want to see us touching Ferrari? I mean, ideally, yes, but I still think them man there are a bit far. Them guys are a bit far away from us. I don't know. And this is the thing. I don't know what to expect, man. I don't know what to expect. I'm excited. I'm buzzing, but it's like it's like the start of a new season. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what is gonna happen until that car touches road. You're on mute, Cuzzy.
Sorry. We was last season literally going blow to blow with Alpine with one driver.
Facto.
Yeah, they can't string a weekend together. Obviously, we've had very, very bad weekends, but what I'm saying is, I feel like when the car is better, operationally, driver wise, we're better. So I'm not really looking at Alpine, even if the car is technically equal to Alpine. I think we'll beat Alpine. But that being said, people like Uncle Mika is saying, "Nah, this car's gonna be chatting to Red Bull," which I'm like, calm down,
steady, man.
Uncle,
hey,
calm down.
What's he having? Because I want some of that, boy. What's he on?
Like, calm down. What upgrade chatting to Red Bull? Wow. Calm down.
And bro, could you imagine though?
No,
bro, hey, real talk, yeah, guys, real talk. Imagine we rock up in Austria or even Silverstone, right? And then you see, man, front row of the grid quali, like bang, Norris is just out of the gate flooding, just dunking on everyone at quali. It's just Max is obviously a beast, and that's the only thing stopping him. What would you do, bro? If we're P2 either in Austria or in at Silverstone in quali, what are you saying? Is it beyond the realms of possibility? I mean, look, I'm dreaming. But the fact that Mika is even talking like that, you're on me again, cuz the fact that Mika is even talking like
I'm not getting drawn into this. You're trying to gas the thing. Stop.
But the 2-time champion, you know, with McLaren. Come on, man. If he's talking, I'm listening.
People are atting us. I said Mika knows something, yeah. People are atting us like saying Mika don't know anything, yeah. But I'm like, Mika knows more than you because you're just a random Twitter account. But
for sure.
So let me see if Mika's jewels are real.
Let's see, man.
Let me see if he's got that. Let me see if he's got that real clout.
So, in your opinion, we're dunking on Alpine at the minimum.
I think after the upgrades have been calibrated, because I don't expect anything from Austria because it's a sprint weekend. I don't think anybody should expect anything from upgrades on a sprint weekend when there's only one practice session. Yeah. So for me, I'm a very cautious individual. I'm saying Hungary practice sessions, we need to be cooking. If I'm not seeing cooking in those practice sessions, then we're in big trouble. Yeah. So, and I expect us to be clear of Alpine. That's my expectation.
What, just a 30 P4 like?
The thing is, yeah, the car that we have right now is too peaky. If these upgrades take that peakiness away, where the operating window is more wider than it is right now, there is certain circumstances where we're up there. Look at Q2 on Saturday. Yeah, both our drivers are in the top 5. This is not something that's it just needs to be. I'm not worried about the driver's ability. I just need the car to be easier to drive and have a wider operating window that can
And
actually operate in normal conditions.
I think that's the minimum we require. That's the minimum that we require right there, is to have a bigger operating window for it, the car, not for the car to be so niche. You know, the ones where it's like only this condition, and even then, like it's touch and go. Even when that condition occurs, let's have it right. It's touch and go at that moment in time. But yeah, man, Mika's selling us the dreams. You know what I'm saying? Let him manifest what he's doing, man. You know the way there. But yeah, big up to the crew that are watching and logging in. Let's talk about this Canadian Grand Prix, man. We've got to face it. I mean, I was asking, can we just talk about qualifying only? You know them
Let's talk
way
about
there.
qualifying first.
Let's just talk about qualifying, okay? You know what I'm saying? Both cars in the in Q3 yet again, people. Yeah, Lando Norris P7,
Quite
Piastri
easily as well.
P9. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, bro. We were looking good. We were looking good. And I thought, you know what? Canada's one of those places is hell on earth for us. So to see us doing well in the quali, I was a bit surprised. What was your thoughts when you watched quali?
I thought these conditions suit us. In terms of Q1, I didn't really. When I saw that it was raining and it was wet, I was like, "We're getting out Q1. There's no problem out there. That's not an issue. I wasn't worried about that." Q2, when it was like that bit where people started going on softs, I was thinking we need to take advantage of that, and I feel like we should have done what Albon did, like literally just go out straight out of softs.
Just go for it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you want to be a little bit cautious, maybe not Oscar because he's not done any racing on this track. He may not. We kind of knew what happened in the Q3 with Oscar, but Lando kind of he did it. Obviously, he did his outlap and then got on the sauce. You know what I'm saying? But if you went out on the sauce straight away, you get one more. You get a lot more time to put the heat cycle into the tires, into the core of the tires, and get that grip that Albon done. Because Albon slapped it on P1 and Q2 quite
Yeah,
easily
it was good.
because he went out straight away on softs
It
and
was
managed to
good.
get that heat in the tire, get the grip in before the rain started falling. But yeah, quality from Oscar. Oscar, this is your first time in Canada.
Oh,
Comfy in Q3, in the crazy conditions as well, on a track that's quite hard already. Really performed there. Norris really performed. It's just Q3, bad luck again. What can we say? I'm not blaming Oscar for crashing. This just one of those things. He
no,
even
yeah,
said,
exactly.
I think today, I think he said, or yesterday in the interview, he said he hasn't crashed in 5 years. It was due to.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is not something that he does. You know what I'm saying? And it's the first time he's been at the track. It's in proper difficult conditions where in the quality session people didn't even continue after those first runs. I think if we one thing that we missed out on is we need to be on the ball in terms of getting out there straight away because you saw Verstappen. Verstappen was out there with like 1 minute and a half remaining before the session started. Like he was there at the end of the pit lane, ready, and nobody
Ready.
else was ready. I think we need to be those type of people to get that in because Max was able to put 2 laps in.
Quite
If you're,
comfortably as
if
well,
you're,
yeah.
if you, and Hulkenberg will manage to put a lap in. So I mean, they'll put some, get some heat in the tire and put the lap in. I think with Lando, like Lando said, he messed up his first lap. Even though he was up on his second lap, he said he messed up the first lap. I feel like you don't mess up the first lap if you're one of the first people out there. If you're literally directly behind Max Verstappen, I feel he gets 2 laps in, and even if he messed up the first one, he gets the second one in. Oscar's just unfortunate, you know. It's just where Lando was on the track, stopped his lap. I think Lando said he could possibly have got P2 because after that second run, after just before Oscar crashed, that was the last run because it was going to start raining harder, so nobody was going to put in a faster laps than the original laps. So missed opportunity there. I think we just need to be a little bit more observant as a team, seeing. And like I said, I don't know about you guys. I'm just saying, if in doubt, just copy Red Bull. If I'm seeing Max Verstappen at the top of the pit lane, 1 minute and a half before the session starts, maybe it's a good idea to go out there. Maybe they've got better weather radars than you lot. You need to go put the cars out there. Apart from that, I think that was a really quality session. Shows that we've got two drivers that can drive in the wet. I've seen Oscar driving the wet multiple times now. He's good at it. He's a rookie. He's going to get even more experience about it. He doesn't have any problems generating heat in those tires. He kind of understands the kind of mechanics around it about driving in the wet and driving in the wet on softs. So yeah, really, really, really positive. I think that's one thing that I'll say this season is a mega positive is the drivers are just dealing with anything that's thrown out.
Thank God for these drivers, man. Honestly, they're digging us out of serious holes. And yeah, like as I said, all I kept screaming on that Sunday was give these guys a car, give them something to play with. Because even with what they've got, the amount of things that they are doing out of this car, it is you know, like last year you could even forgive Danny Ricciardo because it was like, look, the car's not great. You know the ones, the car's not great. Danny's not doing great. All right, fine. But the fact that the car could even be argued as worse than last year, if not the same. And yet, look at our two drivers. Look at what they can produce on the track. Quali, as Steph Blow, big up Steph Blow said here, quali was good. Race was bad. Seems like it's been like this for the most of our season. Absolutely, we could just rinse and repeat. Drea, big up yourself. Says quali was great. Sadly, Oscar's problems hindered Lando too. He was on to like P4 in his lap. Definitely ahead of Mercedes. Can you imagine that? Who would be saying that would be ahead of Mercedes in a quali in Canada? You know them ones. Like I never would have thought that in a million years. Because
Yeah.
I've known Canada as much as I love that circuit. It's one of my favorite circuits of all time. It's hell on earth for us. You know what I'm saying? When you're a McLaren fan, it's hell for us. But yeah, like quali, I was excited, man. I was gassed. I was a bit like surprised because I was like, you know what? Last time out, we're gonna see this version of the car. Like, they could just let them rinse it. Like, let them rinse it to the end of the earth if they can.
Yeah.
And man, to get those cars into Q3, it was like they did it with their eyes closed. And as you said, they could have got further. We got comfortably into Q3, and there was still room for improvement. That's what was hilarious.
We could have
And then
maybe
even
comfortably got top 5, top 6
and then
with
even the
both
fact you
cars.
you even said missed opportunity, and you're not wrong about that. You're just thinking, man, like it's almost like you can't really read this McLaren team this season because which McLaren is it? Do you know the ones? Are we actually meant to be doing better than what the table suggests? Or are we squeezing every ounce of this car that should not be anywhere near where it is? Okay, fine. We're not that close to say Alpine. I think we're like 30 points or whatever it is, 20 points behind Alpine or whatever it is, right? And that could easily be clawed. But like you think, because I'm watching in the race. I'm watching Magnussen or is it Hulkenberg? Somebody was like leaving us. And then I'm watching a Williams doing what they're doing. I'm seeing Bottas giving us man the heat. And I'm like, nah, man, what is going on here? And the thing is, we've sat back and have said to the people, like, guys, hold it down. We're gonna have to get our seatbelt on. It's gonna be bumpy because this car ain't great, and we're gonna have some hard times. But to watch it sometimes vividly, you're just like, yo,
Yeah,
talk to me.
it's
Two
doing my it's
cars,
doing my nothing. It's doing my
two cars
nothing.
that were it's two
I
cars that were
don't
in
want to
Q3
see
and in the
I
points.
don't want to see a Williams or an Alfa Romeo or an Alpha Tauri next to a McLaren again. I don't want to see these guys. I want to see a Hasley and
Never
Russ.
again.
I'm tired.
Never again.
These DRS trains are killing man as well. Because why are we even
Oh,
behind Albon in the first place? Obviously, that's what I'm saying. The whole pit situation, Albon went long. Yeah, I don't know why we did that strategy. We're acting like our drivers don't have to go long on tires. We can go long on tires.
mm.
If Sainz and Leclerc can go long on tires, our drivers can go long on
Yeah,
tires. We could have had
especially
an
with the fact.
opportunity there to maybe get a little P6, P7. You know what I'm saying?
No, great point on Ferrari.
In
They're
the
the
race
worst
as
with
well.
tires.
It's
Yeah, they're the,
annoying me,
they're,
man.
the, they're the worst with tires. Alex said he could have got a P2, as someone here has mentioned. Shout out to you there, man. Where have you been, brother? You're
It's
hiding,
there.
man. You're hiding. And
How you doing,
look,
brother?
he's not an optimistic man. I must say, best McLaren can do this year is beef with the Alpine.
Okay, no, I say constructors wise. Obviously, I think that's that's what we need to be aiming at, just because we're so far behind points wise. But I think race wise, especially later on in the year, I think we'll be cleared out.
I mean, what about like this? What about this part? I think we should be focusing more on 2026 onwards.
That is what the case is. I think that's what they did.
That's what,
I
because
think
as you said,
I think right now they're focusing on the 2025.
I mean, I was looking at the points constructors wise, right? So Alpine have got 44, McLaren was 17, Ferrari
Yeah,
was
that's really decent.
122.
We're not
I mean,
getting, we're not making up that 122 gap or whatever that gap is, 100 or whatever. We're not making that gap up.
I don't know. I've not given up yet on that.
I,
Sorry,
I'm
P5.
quite
Yeah,
I'm quite controversial because a lot of people don't agree with what I say right now. But Ferrari have the second best car, so we
you
ain't
still
catching them.
think so?
Yes,
So what's wrong? Why
I,
are they
I think
P4
they
in the
fixed their
constructors
tire. I think they fixed their tire addicting in Canada.
after
Why
one
are they
race?
doing? I think they did a one stop. They fixed their tire addicting. They did like a little test in Barcelona on the tires. They've upgraded the car. They got the new side pods, whatever. I think they fixed their car.
Are you telling me Ferrari will finish P2?
Helmut Marko said after the race, he said, "I'm glad the Ferraris didn't qualify well because they would have been up there with Max and competing for the race win
Where's
because they
Helmet got
had
that
fast
from?
pace. Because he's looking at the data of the pace, the race pace. If they're lapping the same as Verstappen and they were higher up, they would have kept up with him. Alonso and that were only 5 seconds behind, 6 seconds behind. So I think they got the second fastest car. But forget about that. I think the target, if we're being ambitious, should be trying to catch Mercedes and Aston Martin. Because I feel like Red Bull and Ferrari will catch up. Ferrari will catch up and eclipse those two in the constructors.
You think so?
Yes.
Wow, that's a big call, you know.
Look, Ferrari's the team that got pole. Ferrari's the team literally bottled a pole in Monaco. These are the team that could have won. I can't say that about Aston Martin and Mercedes. They're not winning nothing.
Mm.
They've been close to winning.
You don't think Alonso's got one win in him this year?
Yeah, maybe the odd win there, but I feel like if they sort the drivers need to pull the finger out. Sainz and Leclerc need to pull the finger out.
I mean, Zach's agreeing with you. Ferrari have had the second best car since the start of the season. Just drivers' skills issue slowing them down.
Like I just said, they need to pull the finger out. Like Sainz's penalty is ridiculous. What are you doing? Are you
Honestly,
parking on the
what
last
in
corner?
quali?
Yeah,
Like this guy needs to cause the.
I would
And
have.
you see the penalty they gave him.
He knew. He knew, and he's doing that in Q1. Is he all right? That means
He's
your
not
quali's
well,
over.
man.
You already got a free grid. You already got a grid penalty from
He's not
Q1. You
well.
know?
He's not well. Z says, I see us on Alpine's level when questioning about what will happen after these upgrades. Look, we'll talk more about the upgrades and whatnot in the coming weeks because we might as well finish off what is Canada. We need to bookend this, okay? We need to park this show. That was qualifying with Canada, the Canadian Grand Prix. The race, as many of you have mentioned, it's been a stressful one. Yet again, somehow both of us are not in the points. Both of our drivers not in the points, even though we both qualified in Q3. I don't really have much to say other than good riddance to this car. Goodbye. Okay.
Goodbye.
To...
I have no fond memories of this car, bar a little P3 quali in Spain. I don't care about this car.
And it's not even
Bring
the
on
right
the
livery.
B-spec immediately.
We need to change the livery as well? Can we change the livery for the B spec? Can we have the Triple Crown livery or something? Like just change it.
Man said, I don't want anything resembling the old car.
Listen, I'm hoping the design's a little bit different. You know what I mean? I'm hoping there's a little bit of, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking. It's oh,
bring out a West livery right now.
What are we? Race what? Is it 8? Like
Yeah,
it's been tough, guys.
That was
right?
hard.
It's
That
been,
was
it's
hard,
been
guys.
friggin' tough. It's been a tough one. Okay. So when you think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, race
Imola
8.
cancelled, isn't it?
Imola cancelled. So race 8, like it's been a tough season, start of the season. I mean, I'm seeing Red Bull saying, yeah, we're not even going to worry about this car anymore. We're on to next year already. Like, come on. I'm not. It's a season I
Red
don't
Bull's
even.
got long gone, man. They're thinking about next year, man. They ain't worried about that.
Dre says, let us please not talk about strategy. It was baffling again. Why did we pit off the only 22 laps on the hard tire? Albon did 58.
What did I just say? Like
I mean, they never.
we boxed under the safety car, slapped hards on. Then we boxed again 22 laps later. Are you all right? What's going on? Or I'm like saying, even that way, if you're thinking about position, just stay out on the safety car.
Yeah.
Carry on going along, then slap on the hards.
Do you think the safety car came too early then? Ideally.
The safety car came too early. Obviously, people took advantage of that. Verstappen, Alonso, Hamilton, because they were far up. And they took advantage of that, yeah. I don't think Ferrari spot on. There was not really they need to leapfrog all these people because you're going to be in a DRS train. We never thought about that.
That's true. No doubt that is true. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm torn. Like when Ferrari weren't pitting, I said these clowns. What are they doing now? And then it turns
Yeah,
out
but they
actually
ran
it
in
was.
clean air and they had the lap pit. See at the
Yeah,
end,
that's
they
what
were
I'm
only
saying.
like they were only 3 seconds, 4 seconds behind Alonso and Hamilton at the
Yeah,
end. Look how much time they gained because they were in clean air.
yeah,
They straight away the team said don't fight each other because they need the clean air. And they were just dragging each other along,
yeah.
catching up with
No,
the front runners. So we could have done the same thing.
yeah.
We had
Astra
Oscar and Lando right behind each other. Just stay
set one
out,
free. Set one of them free at
set one
least.
free. We had the Ferraris behind us. Even if it's a case of we don't really have the pace, we could just hang around in Ferrari's DRS and got dragged forward.
Yeah, no,
Just
exactly.
mirror whatever strategy they're doing.
Man, it's
I
been
don't believe the car was eating tires like that. I don't believe it.
interesting question here from Jay saying, will the wind tunnel reductions potentially impact Red Bull at the latter half of the season?
No,
I mean,
it's gonna.
how how far gone are you saying Red Bull are from the next person? From what you say, Ferrari. Like if they stop upgrading this car this season, does Ferrari catch them? Is there potential?
I think the penalty because I've had a long think about it because it's been a while in it. So the penalty got applied in 2020 last year, but they already built the car for this year. So how can you retrospectively punish something that's already built? So for those people that are asking, oh yeah, why is their car still passed? They built the car already before they even got punished, before they even got found out, investigated. They built the car
Because they
for
got
this year.
found out at the end of last year, isn't it?
Yeah, like it was like Singapore times, isn't it? So the car's
Yeah.
built. If your car ain't built by Singapore, the basis of your car, then you're way behind schedule. So that's when the punishment got dished out. They said, "Oh, we're going to reduce your wind tunnel time." Now in Canada, it's been reset, right? So after Canada, your wind tunnel time is reset. So that means we get more wind tunnel time, McLaren, because we're 6 and we get bare more time. And Red Bull get the original whatever minus is it 70% wind tunnel or CFD whatever time
Yeah.
plus the penalty on top of that. So whatever they're developing from like now for next year will hamper them. I won't say they're going to be slow because they've got the concept right. They've passed the test. Their car knows how to drive. The car is a good ground effect car. What it may do is kind of hamper them a little bit in terms of um, kind of pulling away a little bit more. If the others do a good job from now to when the cars launch in 2024, the gap could be smaller. I'll still think Red Bull will be top, but I think the gap will be smaller.
And who do you
But
trust?
this is why the penalty is bullshit. But by then, the penalty doesn't apply anymore, and then they can go back to bringing upgrades to races next year. So the beginning of the next year, it might be close between the people that are behind them because of that penalty and kind of setting them back for 2024. But by then, the penalty's gone now, and then they could just go back to upgrading every other race.
That's true. That's true. Do we see Merc or Aston Martin, Ferrari? Who's your contender?
I'm saying
McLaren,
it's Ferrari. I'm saying Ferrari.
Ferrari still.
I say Ferrari. I think Ferrari. I think the teams that have more that between 4th place and 6th place. So McLaren, Alpine, and Ferrari can close that gap more effectively than Mercedes and AM because Mercedes and AM still are hampered by wind tunnel time.
That is true.
You got a team like Ferrari with crazy resources with more wind tunnel time than AM and Merc, and you saw what AM did with loads of wind tunnel time.
Yeah.
You
know
saw
what?
what Ferrari did when they tanked.
I think I got to go back to last year. I got to watch back last year again, where Aston Martin clawed the way back because I feel like I missed it. Like you know how this season, yes, they've been surprisingly good, but a lot of people did say or saw they were heading in this trajectory. Whether that was going to happen this soon is another matter. But I felt like I kept seeing Vettel and Stroll and them man their Q2 exits. You know them ones. Sometimes Q1. Like
There was
I don't know
no
why I kept
because
thinking they were still
they
gone.
they kept on going out in quali. I remember this for a long while. They kept on going out in Q1, but in the race they would make up their time because they just didn't have a car that was suitable for quali. And even that was the case after the upgrade when they brought out the green ball, whatever it is. And then slowly but surely they were there. They were with Alpine and McLaren. They were there on pace. AD, them man were hooping. They were there with us, pace wise, quality and the race. So for them to go as an actual back, they were ninth or whatever, eighth. They were terrible. From there, I think even maybe worse than where we are. I think maybe around the same place. For them to utilize that wind tunnel time and end up where they are now, who's to say McLaren can't make that jump? But even Lando said, who's to say we can't make that jump? That gives us encouragement now. That's what he said. Because we've seen what a lot of wind tunnel time and a team that actually has resources with that wind tunnel time and know what they're doing can do and make that jump. And Aston Martin made that jump now. Aston Martin's just getting podium. It's a non-conversation. They've gone from where they were to non-conversation podiums.
That's madness.
And I think madness. And I think if your team that are not named Red Bull, I think sometimes being higher up in the standings is a problem. Because you got teams that are around your level with more resource and time.
It's
like a yo-yo. I think Formula One right now between second and like 9th, 10th is insane. The gap is like close.
Oh god, yeah, the gap's really close.
If you minus Red Bull, the gap is proper close. I've never seen anything like this.
But the gap is really, really close. I mean, look, this is a McLaren fan channel. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back onto the papaya. Drea says at least our drivers made some stunning overtakes, but I don't want us to double stack. Double stack when our drivers are so close. It didn't go too well in Monaco either. But let's talk about those overtakes.
When does double stack work, man? When does double stack ever work?
I swear Mercedes have pulled it out a few times. Maybe even Red Bull back in the day.
They're like 1 million miles away.
I feel like they've pulled it off. But some of the overtaking, man, on the weekend, on Sunday. I mean, you took some delight when Oscar was dunking in the first stint. Lando Norris, you know what I'm saying, never gave up on anybody.
I loved Oscar's overtaking. What was it, Magnussen?
Magnussen, because it was wrong. He should have never been allowed to do so.
And Lando's overtake as well. Lando was providing all the entertainment for the race.
Even Lando's overtake on Oscar, bro. I was like, yeah, boy, you take that, boy. And they kept it clean on the hairpin. You know, Oscar gave him a bit of room there, and then let him go. It was just so good. It was good to see, man. It was just good to see that we can swing, we can overtake. I enjoyed it, man. We got to take what we can with this season.
Definitely.
And I enjoyed an ounce of that. I took a loud pack of those overtakes. Let's be very clear. But yeah, as Dre's saying, look, double stack. You know what I'm saying? When they're close, is it necessary? And your argument is even when has it ever worked? Period.
I just don't think it's a good idea.
Alex says McLaren needs to shed this loser mentality of just lying down and taking the penalty. We could have fought it. We should have fought it. It was a farce. The penalty was a disgrace. Unsportsman and the reasoning as well.
I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have turned around though. I don't think they would have.
It probably. You say that. I think it would have turned around like today. Tomorrow we'll find out. Oh yeah, we got the penalty. We got the second.
Well, you could see with like Alonso, like in Jeddah or whatever it was, when they tried to take his podium off him.
Yeah.
They said, nah.
They said,
not doing that.
We're not gonna do
and
that.
then they gave it back to him. Oh, no. Yeah. What, was it Jeddah when they tried to like, was it outside the box and then they gave it to Russell and then, it was Jeddah, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Jeddah. Sorry, it was Jeddah, yeah. I mean, like, I think there's a case, man, especially the reasoning. Like, there's not... Like it's a dumb. It's not even.
It's
real,
like we wasn't enforcing it, but guess what? We're enforcing it now. You're the first one. What?
It's not even in your rule book.
That's like in football. Oh yeah, usually that's a yellow card, but guess what? We changed the rules, and you're going to be the first person to get red card for it.
It's a farce, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's a farce.
I do think they should have done that, and I do think they should have gone hard about Ocon's rear wing.
That's what I'm saying. Like you know,
I would have been singing. I would have been snitching out here.
Yeah, all day, bro. Oscar, you know,
if you could get Oscar a penalty,
Yeah,
Okay, that's that you're stopping them getting points. You're preventing somebody that you're in a title, not title battle, but in a constructors battle with from getting points. So
yeah.
you need to get on game, man.
Nah, man, it's yeah. I don't know. Drea says, well, shout out to Musab. He says, "Hey guys, joining late, no
That's
problem,
what's
man.
up.
Big up yourself." Drea says, "I'm curious if the wind tunnel time will really make such a difference. I hope so because our new one should be in use now for next year's car. Would it have been in use now for even the upgrade?
No, not for the upgrade, but I
Damn.
think for the next upgrades and the 2024 car, partially the wind tunnel because the wind tunnel's online this month for that. So
Yeah,
that's why the first car that's fully going to be built in the wind tunnel is 2025. 2024 maybe like 70% wind tunnel,
yeah,
60%. So we'll see if
yeah.
let's see if the time works. I just want to use this as a blessing in disguise in terms of James Key's made a shit car. Now you're six in the constructors. You have a shitload of wind tunnel time compared to the people that you want to be competing with, i.e. Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Red Bull. You have a shit more load of time compared to them. Use this time wisely, please.
Yeah. As you said, we've got to be like on point. We've got to be on the ball. You know, we ain't got time to be mucking about. You know, and
Yeah.
yeah, and Alex is saying, look, it doesn't matter if if it got changed or not. We should have still fought it. At the end of the day, if we kind of put our, for the lack of a better term, put our cards on the table and be like, look, guys, we're not here to muck about. You know what I mean? We're not going to fool that just because you lot are telling us it's a penalty. It doesn't mean we're going to accept that. Why is it a penalty? Why are we getting this? Why is it unsportsmanlike behavior? When has this ever happened? I mean, the Ron Dennis days, we would have
I,
been here arguing until now.
yeah. Because Ron Dennis used to
Chill
like to
out.
beef the FIA, and they gave us a fine of 100 million. So for those who do, for those who want to beef the FIA, I think for
Oh,
McLaren of all teams have felt the beef
yeah. We don't
to
want
the point where
no
the
part of
FIA
it.
probably still hates McLaren around.
Yeah,
I
quite
don't think
possibly.
people understand how deep the relationship is compared to other teams. I don't think people understand how much the FIA hates
Bro,
McLaren. So if you want to open that door, I'm like, in certain scenarios, you have to be a little bit clever about the relationships with these. Because at the end of the day, these people are people. At the end of the day, you need
as
to kind of
well.
have a good relationship with them and kind of be played a little politician there. You know what I mean? A certain man called Christian Horner plays politician with FIA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
chummy with him. You know what I'm saying? This McLaren, when it was the Ron Dennis days, every day beefing with FIA, Max Mosley, every day. It's not a good
Yeah.
idea.
No, it's true. It's true. It's not a good idea. And the thing with the FIA as well, like every time I look at it, every time it's restructure or reshuffle of people, it's always an ex Ferrari in there, isn't it? Whether it's Braun, whether it's Jean Todt, whether it's Stefano
But
Domenicali, I'm like, come on, man.
I'm
Like,
not
let's get
saying
some
I'm not
of them.
saying do you know what though? I'm not saying don't appeal stuff. I'm saying like be on the ball and have all the there's a what's that guy's name? I forgot his name, man. Wheatley. Jonathan Wheatley. Yeah.
Jonathan
This guy
Wheatley, yeah.
knows the FIA rule book out off the top of his head,
Off
yeah.
off the
Do we have a
dome.
guy like that? Do we have a guy like that in McLaren that could just tell them, no, this happened on this date
Yeah.
and this was the ruling? Do we have a guy like that, or we're just really passive in the approach because it doesn't really matter because we're fighting for 2 points?
We're trying to first focus on our car.
But
Then we
if
can get
it's
that hopefully
time
that
to
penalty.
fight for podiums, are you going to
Yeah.
argue your point, or are you just going to get cooked by the FIA? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'd like to see
No,
some sort of argument there.
very true. Drea says, in my mind, Lando had earned his P9 with great driving, so it wasn't as bad a race as the timing board had showed at the end. Like at the end of the day, yeah, when you look at just the
In
raw
my eyes,
driving
it's P9,
itself,
isn't it?
do you know what I'm saying? It's a P9, but like in its raw form, like it really wasn't that bad of a race as such. It's just getting that sucker punch at the end type of thing where you're just like, we were in the mix, we were swinging. I was just sort of staring at our Williams like, where are they going? You know what I mean? I'm looking at a Haas who had really had a bad
I
Sunday. But
genuinely
I'm just like, what's
believe
going on here?
if there was more laps, he was going to get Ocon, and then he was easily going to get Albon. If there was more laps in the race, we just ran out of laps.
You think you just run out?
Just ran out of laps because if you get past Albon, you're making that 5 seconds. The penalty don't matter.
Fair enough,
But
man.
credit to Albon, man. He
Musab,
kept Ocon on the manners, man.
he did. No, he did. Musab says, I do remember how crap Aston Martin was last year with the wrong concept. They got new people, infrastructure, and extra wind tunnel time. And look where they are now. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? That's what we got to be hoping for, that we make a similar jump, a similar bounce. Next year, we need to be fighting for podiums. You know them ones. Like,
That's the plan.
you know,
We need to be on there like P4, P3. No matter what, one of the cars got to be there.
one of them's got to be there. Um, Alex is saying like Bottas, brother, Bottas got away with that in Saudi 2021, scot free. I'm guessing
Yeah, I
he means
remember
the
that.
slowing down.
The safety car. No, because they don't punish people for that. This is the new. They literally said it. I was watching a
Fresh,
video on the race. This is the new.
fresh,
This is fresh. They're saying no, we're now punishing this
and that's where it becomes all a bit.
on a random one.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit. Big
How
up
much
to
times
Emon.
Max Verstappen would have got bagged for that?
Well, exactly. Well, exactly. Especially under the safety car. Amon says Stella said they would ask FIA for something about Ocon's rear wing. Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
that's good for
listen,
it.
like, you know what I mean? Like, to be fair though, let's have it right though. The wing was so bad that I don't think it even
That's danger,
benefited
man.
It
Do you
didn't
know what?
benefit Alpine either.
No,
Like,
no, 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 no.
surely
Do you
that's
know
not
what
a
they
good thing
said?
to have.
I was watching something, and do you know what they said? Yeah, they said that there was some voting last year or something like that, where they don't throw the meatball flag anymore. It's up to teams to decide if it's a safety problem or not. And I was like, they fucked over Kevin Magnussen, man. How much times did they force this guy to
Exactly.
pick?
Yeah, no,
And then all of a
exactly.
sudden now the new rule is the team it's up to the team to
There's no
decide if it's safe or
meatball
not.
thing.
What?
Oh,
What's your
turn
job
it,
then? What's your job as the FIA if you're not looking out for
turn it
safety
in.
then? You're supposed to decide if it's safe or not the team.
No, turn it in. Turn it in. I don't know how that's the case. I don't know how that's the case. Um, what's it called? Yeah, Musab says with the new Ferrari and Red Bull hires, hopefully there's something with the FIA insight, someone in there. I mean,
I
that'll
need
be
somebody.
interesting, man.
There's a couple of people, I think ex McLaren in the FIA, but it's heavily Ferrari over there still.
It is heavily Ferrari. I mean, look, over. Big up to everybody, by the way, that's watching currently on the channel. We got to give our drivers out of 10, mate. What are we saying over the weekend? Let's start with Lando Norris. What's he getting out of 10?
Oh, he's getting a solid 9. He entertained me.
Ooh,
He entertained me, man. He was hooping.
9. Okay.
I
Wow.
know people are like, oh no, I have to give him 7.5 because he got a penalty. The penalty is bullshit. If there was no penalty, you'll get a 9.
Penalty was garbage. In the chat, let us know. Throw some numbers out there for Lando Norris. Overall race weekend, quali P7 race. We're gonna call it P9, but you know what time it is. Uzair coming straight in with that one. Lando with an 8, Oscar with a 6, McLaren with a 3. 8 seems to be a little bit common here.
McLaren
TSJ
with a 3 is killing me.
TSJ Awesome says 8 for both of them. Yeah, I like 9 is impressive though.
I'm
8
giving him a 9.
5. I mean,
Actually, no, it's 9 reserved for like pole positions and
that's what I'm saying. Like
podiums and that.
the thing is, if there's a circuit that we find scary as hell, it's this one, right? This is one of them. And to get the car what it was doing in that time, it didn't feel like what race did we have where we were just like in no man's land. I don't know if it was whether it was Bahrain where we were expecting something half decent and it was absolutely awful. I mean, 8.5. You was at Bahrain, weren't you? No, not Bahrain. So I'm thinking
I
of
was in
Baku.
Bahrain.
You
I
was
was in
yeah, you
Bahrain.
was in Bahrain and it was hell on earth. You didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? You're sporting the McLaren merch, and it was like, brother, take it off. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it was that
Do you
weekend.
know what's so funny? Yeah, after the race, I went to the petrol station. Yeah, and then I went to obviously their petrol station's got all that fast food and stuff. So I went inside the
Oh, look,
KFC, and then I was in the
easy.
KFC, and then I was chatting to what's his name, Ed Straw.
No.
Ed Straw and Scott Mitchell, Mark. I forgot his second name.
No way.
Apologies, Scott. And they were like, "Yeah, McLaren disaster, mate." I saw pain in Ed Straw's eyes. Ed Straw's undercover McLaren fan. I'm telling you right now, pain in his
Is
eyes,
he?
bro.
Yeah.
It's just that was a disaster. But we move forward. We look forward. I'm gonna give Oscar a 7.5 because he binned it quality. I can't give you anything more than that. And I'm gonna give McLaren off. I'm giving McLaren a 4.5
Wow.
ish.
Musab saying 9 for Lando Norris, potential higher, qualify higher, but race was awesome. Oscar's going to get the 7. Lando 9, he drove brilliantly without mistakes. Oscar 8, the quality mistake can be forgiven. He's a rookie. Alex says Lando 8.5, Oscar 8, McLaren 4. Um, Oscar's, yes, mistake, but good quality race. Yeah, I think I'm going to give Lando a good 8, and I'm going to give Oscar a 7, because even though like the quality was good, the guys were good at quality, even with what Oscar done, and then in the race we saw overtaking, we saw quality driving. So I'm going to
So
give them
Oscar overtaking Norris.
you know what I'm saying? Like, hello, you know them ones. That's a sign of things to come when the car is much better down the line. The team, I'm not going to be that harsh on, because really and truly, like, I wasn't mad that they double stacked. I wasn't mad that they pitted in for thingy. Yes, okay, the hards were not on long enough. Right? If Albon can do 58, we do 22. Yes, that's a howler. But threes and fours, I think, is kind of harsh. You
I
know
think
them
I
ones.
think I think quality. I think strategy wise, especially Q2, we were spot on. Like
Like,
Ferrari got Leclerc booted out. Red Bull got Perez booted out.
yo,
You know what I mean? Just
Leclerc,
like
bro.
Hamilton nearly got booted out because
Leclerc,
Mercedes
Leclerc,
tried to F him over.
bro, Leclerc's about to hire a gun, man, this year. I swear down, he's about to get one, because even like how often can he scream on the radio? Like, how much more has he got left? How many
I
more
don't know why.
screams?
Just
How many
give me
more
softs.
now?
If you ask for softs, don't tell him about Verstappen. What the hell are you telling him about Verstappen for? Just give me soft tires, man. The hell is wrong with you?
Them men are different. They're different. They're different. Um, the team. Listen, they're getting rid of this car, guys. Okay, I'm giving them all the benefits of the doubt, yeah, because they're getting rid of this absolute box that it is, right? And
Yeah.
with what we've done, I mean, look, I think we've only got like 17 points to show for ourselves this season, which is a stinker. 17 points in 8 races, right? Not good enough. Okay, the Alfa Romeo are not that far behind. Neither the Haas and Williams have got 7 points. Bloody hell, I didn't even know that. 7 points for Williams, and AlphaTauri have got 2. Lando Norris P11 in the drivers, as well as Oscar Piastri in P14. Oscar Piastri only got 5 points this year. Lando Norris with 12. Sargent and De Vries yet to come up with any points, and De Vries had a massive stinker with was it Magnussen? And fair play to Magnussen, he was like, you know what? I can't argue, bro. Like, that's what he raced hard. I raced hard. It is what it is. But at least we can wave goodbye to this MCL. What is it? 60? Is this the 35? I don't even know what it's called. What's the MCL called this year? 35, 36, 60? I don't even know. But we can wave goodbye to
Goodbye.
this car.
I hope this car burns in hell. I don't ever want to see this car again.
What? You don't want to do a Toto Wolf where you
No.
have it out front? Like, let's let everyone remember what this is, what this piece of junk is.
Take that straight to the skip.
Put it in that Woking River, boy, or that canal,
MCL
wherever that water is.
60 garbage.
And to think it's on our 60th year anniversary. Yes, MCL 60.
Yeah, no, but MCL
That's the thing.
60B.
Is it MCL 60B, yeah?
MCL 60B, bad B.
Bad B, yeah? Oh, there
Badina.
we go. The Badina.
That's what we're
Is
gonna
that what
call
it
it, the
is, yeah?
Badina.
Bundai. Listen, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for a brand new car, even if it is the sprint race in Austria rather. I'm ready for it, man. I'm
That's
ready
Lando said
for
it's
it.
his favorite track. Let's see what we can do. It's shortest track on the. Whenever it's the
Hey,
shortest track on the calendar, that means the gap between first and last is shorter. So
but
let's
also
go for it.
look at our results in Austria. You know what I'm saying? Nando's
We'll
always
have an
stuck in a
Austria.
little, you know what I'm saying? A little P3. He's qualified a little P3 here and there. You know what I'm saying? I said I can't wait for the MCL
69. All right. Was there your sick guy? Yeah,
Bloody
anniversary stuff's always
It's
cooked up,
always
man.
cursed. Yeah, do you remember when Mercedes brought out that thing Mercedes brought out a car. Was it the German Grand Prix 2019? They
And they're all wearing
come out.
lederhosens.
They're wearing lederhosen. The cars come out in a little bit of white, off white on the car. I said these man having a laugh. I said the original
Start
60 was
calling.
S.
I don't want to see MCL. I want to see MP.
Where's the MP?
McLaren project.
Where's
through.
the MP?
I know why Zach changed it, because he was like, I need to get rid of any remaining.
Any Ron Dennis
any Ron Dennis, anything.
We're
going back to MCL, but nah.
Also go back to the old naming scheme. MCL 37. 37.
Oh, like the number, because
as in just like literally where we are.
We're 36. I swear it's 36B 2021 car. No. 36 was last year.
Yeah,
I can't remember now.
I think it's MCL 36 was last year. 36 or 35?
No, it's 36. 35 was the year before that. Because it was a B spec. For 2020, 2021 is a B. 2021 is a B spec of 2020. So it had B on
it. Drea says we were at a race in Austria last year. It was brilliant. Hopefully the upgrades are not too difficult to top from a driving point with a view with only one training session.
If it's such a drastic upgrade, then it should. I'm sorry, I typed in
was it B or M? I remember seeing M.
MCL 35 and MCL 35M.
MCL 35 M 2021.
And then MCL 36 was last year, and then it's M60 now. MCL 60.
Listen, what I would do for an MCL 35.
MCL 60, I don't ever want to see you again.
Is this rank the top 3? Yeah, what is the top 3 worst McLarens ever? In terms of in our era.
On a deep dive now.
In our era, just to close the show, what is the worst 3? Because this is a tribute to the MCL 36, yeah? Sorry, 60, to say good night and goodbye, okay? But it doesn't make the Mount Rushmore of the worst McLaren cars made in a Formula One season. In the chat, let's see what let's get your voting.
Okay, MCL 33. What was that? That was 2018. That was okay. That wasn't that. The one before.
That was okay. That was calm. Yeah,
it's the orange and black one.
Orange and black one.
Ass. Hold on, no.
2017
MCL 32. MCL 32.
32 was garbage.
Garbage. Yeah.
The MCL 32, ladies and gentlemen. You see that right there? That was a piece of junk.
And
poor Stoffel Van Dorn, man. Poor guy.
That was worse than the 2016 one.
Yeah, and 2016 was bad, but I love the look. I can't lie.
All black.
I love the look.
That's the MP4 thing. MP4, whatever.
Listen, I love the look. 2015, 2017. Listen, people can agree. 2017 was an awful car. And don't forget, I think
2017. I'm thinking back. I'm looking in my mind right now. 2017 was a bad car because even do you remember that car? What was it? The one that Jensen Button and Magnussen had. That car was not that wasn't getting lots of points, but it was like around like P11 all the time. I remember.
Yeah, I mean it was
always
the MP,
but
I want to say
it weren't really
29. No, not 29.
20... No, what 2014?
2014 was 29. I'm sure it was the MP 29, the 2014 one, when Magnussen's debut basically with McLaren.
No. I'm getting 2014 and 2013 confused, isn't it?
You're gonna hurt me with the 20.
2014 was Button and Hamilton, Button and Alonso, isn't it?
14 was Button and Magnussen.
I thought it was Alonso.
Alonso was the year
MP4 30.
Sorry, the
2015. That's 2015. 2015 was ass as well, man.
2015, yeah, that's the worst one, yeah.
No, do you know why that car was rubbish? Yeah, because they never finished the race.
And weren't there 2 versions as well? Weren't there 2 versions as well?
DNFs everywhere.
Do you know what? Actually,
let me put the Wikipedia up. Yeah.
Do you know what? The MC
Fernando Alonso retirement 12th, 11th retirement. 10th, 5th, 13th, 8th retirement. 11th retirement. 15th, 17th Button.
You know what though?
Retirement. 14th DNS. Man, we're doing DNS. Man, we're doing up DNS. Don't get me mad. 3 retirements in a row for Button. Retirement.
Oh, the 30 though, man. I like the. Do you know what though? It's my favorite. One of my favorite designs. Not the first one, the second one. So you know how we kind of moved from because the start of the season it was like the
guys. We are in Wonderland compared to these years. I'm sorry, I
oh
just realized we are absolute. We're dreaming right now because
man
we were
said
going through seasons only getting
BS.
27 points. We got 17 right now.
Mate, mate. I can't. No, I can't. It's bad. It was ninth
Nah,
in
nah.
the constructors that year.
MP 430 was cheeks. I don't care.
I said it was cheeks. MP40, yeah, or MCL32. Those two are the worst. Yeah, I love the design of the 30. 2015, 17, 18, 23 are very, very bad. That's a good
What?
amount of
That's a
Ospreys
lot of
there.
years, man.
That's a
God
good
damn.
amount. It's too many. It's too many.
That's a
But we
lot of
can't forget.
years,
We
man.
can't forget. What's the one year back in the day when we were doing stuff like 2000? Was it 4 or 5? Where we had to just bring back that other car. We just literally brought back last year's car. Was that
There was
2004
one
or
year. No,
three?
there was a 1 year in the early 2000s. I think it was 2004. We were cheeks, man. 2006 were bad as well, man.
Our 6 was ugly. 9 was ugly.
2006, the last year, Montoya Kimi. That was nasty stuff.
Yeah. But then 2007 we were bad. I think it was the best car ever made.
Yeah,
And
but
yeah, we did, and still we
people
didn't do
people need to talk about the legality of that car. But anyway,
yeah, people are
anyway.
saying MCL 32, you know what I'm saying? The MP4 30, you know what I mean? There's a lot, man. There's a lot,
It's,
man.
no,
There's a lot.
2003, we were in a title battle, man. We just got shagged
Yeah,
when they
that
changed up
car,
the
yeah.
tires, man.
I
2003
know,
was a
but like,
title battle. That
I know,
car was
but
not bad.
the fact
But
we
that
had
was
to
a 2-year-old
revert,
car.
though, the fact we had to reuse it, man, that's when you know.
Mm.
The MP429, you say the nose, yeah, the nose was 2014 across the board. The noses were repugnant. The only one that got it right was what's my man? Red Bull. Red Bull had a good nose. Everybody else, no way. No way. I said the MP28 was worse. You guys are hilarious, man. You guys are hilarious. Do us a favor, by the way, smash a like, follow us on Twitter as well at McLaren Fan TV. It's been good to talk about, talk about the old school. It makes sure it puts into perspective where we are now from where we've been. You know, them way there. Yeah, 2009 first half was very bad. Uzair knows, man. This is Uzair. This is the era. This is his era right here in terms of the cars. MP4 18 was a flop. That was in 2003, and yet Kimi Raikkonen was cooking. You give him the car, and he would have cooked. He would have baked it nicely. No hype. He was doing. He did wonders in that car. Anyway, guys, that will wrap up this week's podcast of the Canadian Grand Prix. We wave goodbye to the MCL 3060A or
Goodbye,
whatever this
Rotten
version
Hill.
is. Goodbye. Yeah, good riddance. You've served us not well. We've had to struggle. Any James Key DNA has been removed. Okay. And with that, people, we launch into the stellar era. Now we can officially begin, and hopefully it looks like a completely brand new car. Maybe it's a copy of the Red Bull. Maybe it's a copy of the Aston Martin. It does not mind. I don't care, right? All I care about most, first and foremost, is we got a car that's fast, a car that's got a bigger whip span in terms of how a bigger threshold in terms of what conditions it can handle. And who knows, man? Who knows? Podium settings, you never know. Austria next week
Let me
or the
know. Let
weekend
me.
after.
I just hope the car doesn't make me panic about getting 2 points.
Yeah,
Just
gone are the
secure me
days.
that, man.
Gone are the days. Gone are the days. Big up to everyone. Shout out to Uzair. Shout out to Drea. Shout out to Musab. Big up to everyone. Z, TSJ, awesome. Steph Flo. Big up everyone that's messaged today. Amon, Alex. The too many names to mention. Big up yourself. Generous Dave, I did see
Big
you in
up
the chat
everybody.
there. Big up yourself. Hope you guys are feeling good. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next week. We'll be discussing all things Austria and the brand new McLaren B Spec car. Till next week. Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.